Israel's ban on UNRWA is set to take effect on Thursday, but nearly the entire population in Gaza relies on this agency for their basic needs. The agency was created in 1949 to support Palestinians forcibly displaced during the Nakba, or catastrophe. Today, it supports nearly 6 million refugees in 58 camps across Gaza, the occupied West Bank, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. As of last year, more than 500,000 children were enrolled in UNRWA's 709 schools. The agency also runs 140 primary healthcare facilities, and more than 30,000 Palestinians across the Middle East work for UNRWA. The agency also supports the right of Palestinians to return to their homeland, as stipulated in a UN General Assembly resolution, one which Israel rejects. Akiva Eldar is a political analyst and author of Lords of the Land, the War over Israel's Settlements in the Occupied Territories. You're joining us from Tel Aviv, Akiva. It's good to talk to you. Back to UNRWA and the fact that it's supposed to shut down tomorrow. Are there any second thoughts in Israel about shutting down this agency?
There are not only second, I think there are third and fourth thoughts. Israel is now trying to maneuver, and when I say Israel, it's Prime Minister Netanyahu. It's like in the United States, we have the same kind of leaders who are actually led by their own philosophy, if you like, if they have philosophy, or by their own interest and ideology. Israel has a second thought about the theory that we can get rid of Hamas, and some even were hoping that Israel can reoccupy Gaza and bring back the settlers and put an end to the terrorism and to the conflict. Now, I think that Netanyahu is heading to Washington next week, and he will hear that his friend over there in Washington has a completely different interest, and Netanyahu has very little to offer him. What Trump wants is to end the war in Gaza. What Netanyahu is trying to do is to satisfy his partners in the coalition by somehow having one or 1.5 legs in Gaza, and on the other hand, to bring back all the hostages. And I believe, as many Israeli analysts and even politicians in the coalition, let alone in the opposition, that he is not able to eat the cake and have it.
But how does shutting down UNRWA help Israel? What is the rationale for shutting it down? I remember what Netanyahu and the government said when they passed the law months ago. They said UNRWA was infiltrated by Hamas, something for which there is no evidence. In fact, it's wrong because there have been multiple reports on UNRWA, and that's just not true. How does this today, would this maybe help Israel, if at all?
It helps, Netanyahu's public relations campaign, because the Israeli speakers, the Israeli decision makers have been doing very well in demonizing UNRWA and sticking UNRWA to Hamas and to the bad guys in Gaza. And they succeeded to take the few UNRWA workers that were involved in the invasion, the terrible one in October 7th, and stick it to the entire organization. Now, the other thing is that UNRWA is for Israel a kind of a message. It demonstrates the Palestinian vision of the right of return and going back to Israel. And by getting rid of UNRWA, it seems that you remove this two-state solution and the Palestinian dream for their own state, because UNRWA was established as part of the resolution, the international belief that they deserve, the Palestinians, to have their own state. So this is a provisional situation that should be. And by closing down UNRWA, Israel believes that it will take over the full responsibility without paying the bill. And this is what Netanyahu wants. He wants someone else to take the responsibility. And like President Trump was suggesting, and Haaretz titled its editorial that it's a Trump spare, he wants to transfer the Palestinians from Gaza, and his partners from the radical right, like Smotrich, what they have in mind in writing, in their written blueprint, is to push the Palestinians out. And UNRWA is actually, in their view, is perpetrating this situation that the Palestinians are not going anywhere.
Akiva Eldar, thank you very much for the analysis there. We'll talk again. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.